Zimbinda madoda umshelele apha namhlanje. Welcome to Vodacom URC. Translation for you, Squidge, my brother. Welcome.
Oh, that's well put. Crossio in Welsh, which my pronunciation's awful and everything in Welsh, but you're very, very welcome.
Squidge Rugby versus Siv Ngesi in Vodacom United Rugby Championship, North versus South.
Great to see you. How are you doing?
I just want to say I watched Six Nations rugby this past weekend, and let's be honest, this particular tournament, having the North play the South, has really improved Northern Hemisphere rugby. It was a pleasure to watch, entertaining, tries left, right, and centre. It's been physical. I just want to say, the North, you can say thank you to the South.
Oh, thank you enormously. Looking at this Six Nations, it's clearly the only possible explanation for why it's been so glorious. Everyone across the board. Look at the way Italy have improved. Look how well Scotland and Ireland are playing. Look at them everywhere. It's been fantastic to watch.
DHL Stormers versus South Sea Sharks. It went DHL Stormers won it by 29-23. And I just want to give a round of applause to South Sea Sharks for an unbelievable comeback. I really thought DHL Stormers was going to run away with it. Did you watch the game? How action-packed was that game?
Yeah, no, I mean, fantastic. As you say, there was quite a comeback there. But you look at the comeback the Scarlets pulled off. They were 35-5 down. And they managed to somehow come back to one of the most ridiculous games I've ever seen. The game finished 49-42. The Scarlets somehow coming back, scoring, I think, a gazillion try to the bazillion by Munster. One of the most entertaining, ridiculous games you'll ever see. The point at which there's no analysis to do when both sets of coaches sit down, when Graham Roundtree and Dwayne Peel sit down to do the analysis on the Monday morning. They kind of just go, so let's have a look at the table, the log, where things are standing at the minute. We've got Leinster still at the top, unbeaten, 15 games in a row. Phenomenal, amazing, haven't lost a game all season. I mean, they look pretty much unstoppable at the top.
But at number 2, we have DHL Stormers. Don't forget, they've won 11 games. And you know they can do anything, any day. And I don't care where you play them. They could actually do a miracle. But for me, the absolute blinder is Ulster Rugby, who's actually chasing DHL Stormers. They have 54 points and DHL Stormers have 59 points. So a lot to play for. For me, what was very important, seeing Vodacom Bulls losing against Emirates Lions really opened it up for Benetton and Cardiff. They're chasing that top 8 spot as well.
Anyone from 5 down to 14 can make the playoffs. You've got a huge competition here. You've got Cardiff and Benetton really chasing this. But you've had, in the last few weeks, the Bulls and the Sharks really been dragged, really been pulled, screaming, kicking and screaming down into this proper battle for those last few playoff spots. It's going to be a really exciting close to the season.
One of my favorite times of the show, it is the prediction section. Let's begin. This is going to be an action-packed game. It is number 3 versus 6. It's Ulster versus Vodacom Bulls. What's your prediction, brother?
Ulster really coming in form now. As you say, they're really chasing to get one of those home spots. I'm saying Ulster by 6.
All right. I say if Vodacom Bulls can go back to what they have the potential to do, I say Vodacom Bulls by 2. Next one is Benetton versus Emirates Lions. That is 9 versus 11. A lot on the line. Emirates Lions did beat Vodacom Bulls, which is a huge shock. What's your call, brother?
Yeah, the Lions against the Lions, the Italian Lions versus the South African Lions. But Benetton pulled off a huge win away at the Ospreys for the first time ever. The other week, they're going to be bouncing with confidence. Whole of Italian rugby is. I'm saying Benetton by 8.
You can never trust a lion that eats pasta. I say Emirates Lions by 8. The next one is Scarlets versus South Sea Sharks. Do not forget, South Sea Sharks gets a couple of their Springboks back, a couple of their stars. That's number 14 versus 7. What's your call, brother?
This is the really interesting one because as an Ospreys fan, we could do for the sake of winning the Welsh Shield with the Scarlets losing this. And yet, as someone who looks at the relative qualities of the team, obviously it's not going to happen. It's going to be the Scarlets by 4. Which I'm going to be both heartbroken and delighted about at the same time.
I just want to say, I can hear in your voice, you do not believe that particular prediction. I say South Sea Sharks by a good 21. Now, let's move to our featured match of the week. Now, featured match of the week is, this for me could be the game of the entire Vodacom URC 2023 tournament. It is Number 1 versus 2, it is Leinster, who has not been beaten at all in 15 games, versus DHL Stormers, the official champions for 2022. What is your call?
So this is an absolutely huge game. We've got first versus second, the two real title contenders, the two favourites up against each other. It's going to be amazing. Now, Leinster, as we say, haven't lost a game all season. They've lost just 2 games in 2.5 years, which is amazing. But the two teams that have beaten them are teams that play very similar brands of rugby to the DHL Stormers. And I think that could bode really well. They're teams that are incredibly physical, really attacking with the scrum, physicality, a lot of double tackles and trying to take them as physically knock them backwards as they can, stop them getting any momentum in the first place. But also they're teams that are able to use a bit of pace and use kind of skillful players. And if they've got an intercept or a bouncing ball, they can make the most of it and score, or they can just create something out of nothing on a counter-attack or something. And you kind of need both of those sides. It's those teams that balance it pretty well, as the DHL Stormers have been doing, that have taken Leinster to task. And I think that's what makes it so exciting. They're a team set up to beat the best team in the league.
For me, it's a blockbuster. Top of the table clash. 15 out of 15 versus team DHL Stormers, who hasn't lost at home and has won 11 out of 15. I think if there's only one team that can actually beat Leinster, it is DHL Stormers, and they will be getting their Springboks back. And I look forward to seeing what's going to happen. But for me, what is your prediction for the Leinster versus DHL Stormers game?
I think this is a chance for Leinster to put a real marker down. I'm saying Leinster by 7.
My brain is telling me one thing, but my heart is telling me another. I say DHL Stormers by 3. Conservative. I've been another action-packed, unbelievable episode of Vodacom URC North vs South with my brother Squidge. Squidge, I'll see you, brother. We'll see you in the next round. Booyah!
I'll see you then. 2 games left to go. I can't wait.